Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to have you here once again. So yeah, thank you all for your love. I see your comments in the last video I made about my true experience living in Korea. Thank you all for your beautiful comments and your encouragement and everything. I'm so grateful. So today for those who are planning to come to Korea, so these are I want to share with you 10 things and more that you should know, because moving to a new country, especially not especially, but moving to a new country can be challenging, but it's also an overwhelming experience. And in this video, I want to share with you 10 important things that you should know before moving to Korea. Yes, and the first one is the visa requirement. So you have to know you have to get the appropriate visa to legally stay in Korea. So for me, when I first came, I came a visiting visa, and I realized that that's not what I should have applied for. So I should have applied for the spousal visa. So you should know the appropriate visa that you need to come to stay in Korea legally. It could be the work visa, it could be the student visa, it could be the study visa. And now, depending on where you live and your nationality, but just check the Korean embassy website to be sure of all the things, latest information on the visa requirement. And number two on my list is your end goal. You should have been number one. I mean, it's your end goal. Like, is your coming to Korea an end in itself, or is it a means to one end? It's important that you have this at the back of your mind. Why is it important? Because knowing your why will help you decide what route you're going to decide to come in Korea with. So for example, if you know your why, you know that okay, there are certain courses that I can come and study in Korea. And there are certain courses that I know that I can't study in Korea. Make your research, don't ask me. So many people are just carried away by the fanfare, by the glamour of what they see online and everything, but you have to make a decision on on your end goal. So, and then just make a research. Now, the third thing on my list you should know if you have the desire to move to Korea is the cost of living. Now, the cost of living in Korea is relatively high compared to other Asian countries. I said the word relatively because it depends on what you're doing here. If you're working, it's just relative. Actually, it's relative. So and it also depends on your location. So if you live in somewhere like Seoul, you know that housing is very expensive, and every other thing, like some things could be very expensive. So just research. Now, the fourth thing you should have at the back of your mind is the language barrier. Living in Korea, the language spoken in Korea is Korean, and that's the official language. Everywhere in Korea, they speak Korean. Now, English is widely taught in school, however, it's not widely spoken. Yeah. So, in places in Seoul, you get people, or touristy area, you get people who speak in English, but sometimes when you go to the interior part of Korea, you may not really find people who speak in English. So knowing basic phrases, knowing basic grammar will help you make your life easy, help you to be able to communicate when you go to the market. So you could take classes, you could learn, you could watch K-drama could also help, or you could find a language partner just to help you learn and improve your Korean skill and all of it. Yeah. Now, number 5 is it number 5? I think number 5. Okay, cultural differences. So Korea has a unique cultural difference, has its unique culture, has its social norms, and these may be very different from what you're used to. So you need to be respectful. You need to be aware of these cultural differences, so that they have norms like the hierarchy and the etiquette, the custom, how you do this. You need to follow these rules, like taking off your shoes before you enter someone's house, or certain buildings don't allow you to wear your shoes in. You need to respect it. Don't be like, oh, no, I'm gonna wear take off your shoes. Use of honorifics, the way you greet the elders is not the same way you greet the younger ones. So if you use annyeong for your friends or contemporaries, you don't use annyeong for all of those things. You need to learn them, and you need to also avoid things that could offend or confuse Koreans. So so pointing or being too loud or too direct, they don't like that. Now, the next thing you should consider when if you're thinking of moving to Korea, is the weather. So the weather, Korea experiences 4 seasons there, and summer and cold. The spring and the autumn. That's a spring. Spring and autumn, beautiful. I love it. Yeah. Mild temperatures, colorful scenery, everything. So, but you see that summer. Summer is hot and humid with frequent rain. Then let's come to winter. Winter is cold. See my mouth. winter winter is cold and, oh god, with occasional snow and strong wind. So you need to pack your appropriate clothing, for the season you're moving into Korea. And just keep in mind that Korea experiences like a lot of air pollution. So sometimes you just need to wear the mask and check your phone for when the air is bad. Now the 17th I'm going to talk about is the workplace culture. So um working in Korea can be rewarding. So let's say that you've already got a job, or you're coming with a work visa. So now, depending on your field, depending on your company, depending on your position, you just need to adapt to the work environment. So the work environment can be very competitive, can be how do you pronounce that thing? Hierarchical. How you pronounce it? My friend, hierarchical. It could be demanding, and you need to work hard. You need to follow instructions. You need to respect the seniors. You need to meet deadlines, and sometimes you may also need to participate in social events, social activities like drinking and eating. And if you watch a Korean drama, you know this now. You go to karaoke, you sing with your boss or your coworker. All of these things, they consider it as building relationships. I had a story. I've heard a story. I've not experienced it. I don't know anyone very close to me who experienced it, the boss had an issue with him because he was not always going for their, when they go out to eat and all those things. So you just be careful, because you may face some discrimination, some difficulties, yeah, because of the language, of course, the language barrier and all of those things. Now, the eighth thing you need to know about your life in Korea is that it's a social life. I'll be real with you. Making friends in Korea, well, could be easy, could be hard, depending on you, depending on your personality, depending on your interest, depending on your goal, depending on how you came to Korea. So if you come as a student and you learn the Korean language, yeah, you can make friends and all of those things. But I'm just on a neutral, neutral way, on a neutral note. Yeah, neutral note, that's the word. Making friends in Korea can be a challenge, especially if you don't know the language, if you can't speak Korean fluently. So, but you can meet people through various channels. So it could be online platforms, it could be language exchange, it could be clubs, association, any other thing. So you just need to be open-minded. So for me, most of the friends I made from church, and some other friends I inherited from my husband. So yeah, so that's just it. Now, the 19th I need you to know is the legal issues in Korea. So as a foreigner in Korea, you need to learn to abide by the rules and regulations. And so this is how it works. So you need to be careful of what you say and do online, because Korea has this strict law of defamation and slander. So you cannot just come up online and just say I went to this restaurant and this happened, blah 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 blah. You have to be careful. You have to be careful. Someone can just sue you for defamation. And then recently I had a story. Someone told me of a guy who, okay, not that, because my husband had this experience. So he's not that he saw someone. He didn't have the experience actually, but because of what he said, the person now shared the story to us. So he was is it at the park one day, and then he saw this girl crying profusely. Normally back home you want to go and console the person and be like, hey, what's up, why are you crying, blah blah. But he just didn't know. Number one, he didn't know what to say and all of this, so he left. He didn't say anything to the girl. So someone was like, it's good that you didn't say anything. That there was a boy who saw an African boy. I think he said he was from Congo. I'm not too sure of the story, but someone told me the story that this girl fell down or so, and he was trying to help the girl up, and the next thing, he was sued for sexual assault. And she's so crazy to the boy, because he was just helping her. And the CCTV that captured the boy. I don't know how it's whatever, but there was nobody to prove nobody could see his heart to know what he was doing. And that was how the boy got into trouble. And then I realized that no wonder, like when they fall down, nobody goes to help them, because your good could turn to bad. And for me, it's also sad. It's just so sad. So you need to be careful of all of these things. You could just be kind, and then you could turn to something else. And I remember in a movie, one of the movies I watched, this guy was really, he was broke. He didn't have much money, and this lady was about to buy food for him, and he took it so bad. I don't know, but in any case, just be careful. you know you could just get fined, you could get arrested, even you could get deported, because the story that I just shared earlier, the boy got deported because of that thing. So you need to be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, extra careful. And be careful of trash. Don't trash things anyhow. Trash on the appropriate day with the appropriate material. So they have the general waste, they have the recycle, they have the food waste. Know what goes into it, because you got to pay a fine if you're caught. Now the 10th thing is the educational system. Now in Korea, the education system is very competitive and is very different. I'm telling you, it's very different from what you're used to. So if you are a Nigerian or an African watching me, just know that this is very different. So recently I was talking to teenagers, some of my teenagers, and I was like, you need to prepare and all of those things. You have the scheme of work, you have to read ahead of time. They were like, no, you don't get the scheme of work for the term or the semester. Like, you just have biology, and the biology that's come and teach them. They don't know. I'm like, oh, so good. They're always so, they're always looking so surprised when their mom tells them to read ahead. They're like, read ahead? What am I reading ahead? I don't know what I'm reading ahead for. Like, it makes sense now. Are you kidding me? So you don't see you gotta remember, back home when I was in secondary school, the teacher, the first day of the STEM, for every like the first week, when you have your timetable out, all the teachers come and they give you like the course outline, but we call it scheme of work or syllabus, something like that. So you know that in biology you do reproduction, you do this, that, all of the topics and everything. So you're able to prepare. In chemistry, okay, this term we're going to do organic, next term is inorganic, and these are the term alkanol, all those things. Is written. We know so you can read your ababio, you can read your physics, you can read your biology, modern biology, and prepare for none of those things. So I was so surprised when she said that when they not she, because all of the some were going to Korean school and the others were going to international school. So both international and Korean schools said the same thing. So, but if your experience is different, please let me know, because I was so surprised. Yeah, I think I need to make more research about that. But it surprised me when I found that that's not available for them. Other things that I want other things that I want to share with you for you to consider is that in shopping and traditional markets. So instead of always going to like Home Plus or Lotte Fresh, all of these things, go to the traditional market. You get fresh produce, and then you save a ton of money. Another thing is that the healthcare, the Korean healthcare system is very good. I'm telling you, it's very good. But you to survive in Korea with the healthcare system, you need to pay. You need to have like a monthly insurance. That way, you know that whenever you visit the hospital, the cost is not going to be too much. But the downside here is that, not the downside, but the thing is that not all the hospitals have English speaking doctors who speak in English, right? But some of the hospitals are international hospitals, like the one in Incheon, like we have the in Inha University, the Gilgachan, and some other hospitals. They have like interpreters, so in Russian, in English, and Chinese, I think. So you need to make your research and know which one that you go to. And so another thing to consider, to think you must know when coming, is the apps. So Korea is a tech zone, so you need to get your Never map or your Kakao map. You need that's the subway map, all of this, the Kakao Talk, the Naver for ease of communication and ease of transportation. And then the public system, the public system is a great one. I love it because it's very easy to use. So they have the subway, they have the buses, they have the taxi. But I always encourage you, once if you learn a bit of Korean, you're able to read the Korean language. So always take the buses and the taxi. Sorry, not taxi. not taxi. Buses and subway, you get it, you save a lot of money. You save a lot of money. And then the Korean cuisine. Now, the Korean cuisine is delicious, and it's varied. Like, and I love the way that Koreans are able to, use a produce and make it in different ways. Like rice can be, they can serve you rice in different form and variation. Now, but you when you come to Korea, you have to be careful because sometimes you'll be presented with a dish. If you don't ask, you don't even know what you're eating. And sometimes, like, we've gone to buy meat and it's so sweet. I'm like, why is it so sweet? Why? It's not supposed to be so sweet. So you have to be careful, but still try. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't be a person like, oh, I don't eat this. Try. Your can tell you will love it. Okay, so these are 10 and more aspects of life in Korea as a foreigner that I wanted to share with you, to just in case you're thinking of moving to Korea, because moving to Korea can be life changing. It's important that you're prepared for the challenges that are ahead. And I hope that you found this video really informative and helpful. And if you have any questions, you have any comments, you have anything, any comment that will be helpful to people, yeah, please leave in the comment section. I would love to read from you. I would love, like the other ones I read, I loved them. So I love to read from you. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, subscribe. Okay, thank you for watching to the next video. Bye. Keep living intentional. Bye for now.